guys, and welcome back to That Stamp Guy. Yes, so we've got a few interesting stamps once again today, and this first little beauty is from a country called Nauru, and is a 1961 stamp, and it is titled Netting Fish. As you can see, the guy on the front is throwing it out to catch some fish. Now, I've got some fun little facts about Nauru. Well, the Queen has been there, but not many others have, because it has only around about 200 tourists a year. It is the world's smallest island nation, and it measures just 8 square miles, and it only has 30 kilometres of roads. But unfortunately, it is the fattest country on earth. Sorry to say, 71.1% of its 10,000 residents are actually obese. It has the one of the world's smallest GDPs, and it is a paltry $102 million. Now, to put that in perspective, that wouldn't even buy Manchester City 2 new defenders, but it does have a railway. A 3.9 stretch of narrow railway was built in 1907 for the transport of mined phosphate, which was the linchpin of the island's economy for decades. But unfortunately, that started to run out because at one stage, it was actually the world's richest country. So rich were Nauru's phosphate reserves that for a brief period in the 60s, it had the highest per capita GDP in the world. But alas, those reserves have now largely been exhausted. And lastly, there's no army. No, Nauru is one of 16 countries in the world without an army. And Australia is responsible for keeping Nauru safe and sound, although the island does have its own police force. So that is Nauru. Now, for my next stamp, I have gone for now I think it is a Polish stamp, but I'm not 100% sure. It's really hard to find. Let me know down in the comments if you can actually find a little bit of info about this one. But as you can see on the front, it has some mushrooms, but not just any mushroom. It is in fact the porcini mushroom. Now, the porcini mushroom, it can grow quite large. It can have a cap of up to 12 inches in diameter, but the smaller ones, if you're going to eat them, the smaller the ones seem to be the tastiest. Now, the cap is often brown or reddish brown with a slightly sticky texture. The underside of the cap is actually spongy, and it doesn't, not like gills, which you see a lot of mushrooms. These have a little spongy sort of spore, and that's how they disperse their spores. Porcinis are also known, as you can see there, as they have this quite fat stem there. Now, porcini, the name, it actually means piglets in Italian. Yes, that is correct. These mushrooms can be traced back to the Romans. Now, the Romans, they prized porcini mushrooms, and they knew them as bollette, and they cooked them in special containers called bollettara. I think I've pronounced that right. Now, they are an extremely difficult mushroom to grow. You can't just sort of start growing them. So even if you manage to get some spores and you plant them in the right location, porcini mushrooms are very slow growing. It actually takes up to 10 to 15 years from when the spores go into the ground until the mycelium will start producing mushrooms. So you can't just grow them. There we go. And that is probably why they are sort of a delicacy and really sought after. And yeah, people sort of, they command quite high prices to purchase. Now, my next stamp, just move those along there, otherwise I'm going to have no room when I pop it down at the end, is an American stamp. As you can see there, 4-cent postage stamp. Get it right there, copper. There we go. So, this is the Oregon statehood, the centenary, marking the statehood of Oregon when it became the 33rd state of America. Now, I've got some interesting facts about Oregon. It has a world record park. Now, wait for it. The 452 square inch Middle Ends Park was recognised as the smallest urban park by the Guinness Book of World Records in 1971. Okay, so it has the smallest park in the world. Oregon is the only state in America to have an official state nut, the hazelnut. Oregon produces 99% of the US's commercial crop of hazelnuts. It has the deepest lake in America, Crater Lake, located in southern Oregon. Whoops, I've twisted that, sorry. Located in southern Oregon is the deepest lake in the US at 1,943 feet deep, and it's the 9th deepest lake in the world. And it was formed over 6,500 years ago when the volcanic Mount Mazama collapsed to create the giant caldera. Now, most of you will have heard of the brand Nike, but Nike was actually founded in Oregon. Yes, and it was originally called Blue Ribbon Sports. Carol Davidson, a student at Portland State University, well, she designed the Nike swoosh in 1971 and received a massive, wait for it, $35 for her now famous design. I bet she is kicking herself. Oregon is one of the only 2 states in America without self-service gas stations. Yes, can you name the other? It is New Jersey. It has a humongous fungus. Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Humongous fungus. The largest living organism in the world can be found in Oregon's Blue Mountains. The humongous fungus is a honey mushroom, and it covers 2,384 acres and is estimated to be between 2,000 to 8,000 years old. Okay, it is also a famous location for movies like The Goonies, The Black Stallion, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Into the Wild, and The Guardian. And it has the world's largest barber pole. Forest Grove is home to the world's tallest barber pole. The 70-foot red and white striped pole was created in 1973 to honour the barbershop quartet competition that is actually held in the town of Forest Grove. And lastly, it is known as Spooky Oregon. Oregon has over 250 ghost towns, and that is more than any other state in America. And that is that for the day. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And please like, please subscribe, and we'll say bye for now.